Hello, my name is Zhatelier. Welcome back for another episode of EU4 as Palembang. In previous episode, we did manage to get our truces with Spain. I believe we were going to fight against Bali, but then Sunda decided to declare war on us right before we were starting to declare. So, we've now got a bit of a doomstack waiting in here. We've actually got another 10 regiments of Marines. We've got a few regiments of artillery down here that we're going to get into Flores. And from there, we'll have, well, 5 more regiments total then of artillery to bringing in here. So we can hopefully fight off of the enemies in Palembang. It's going to be a bit of a painful combat, though, because the enemy's got better artillery. And I suppose it does also, yeah, artillery shock is slightly better. Artillery fire is much, much better, though. Combat weight is higher. And because they got the Militech-22, we do not have that yet. They've got a decent general, although we've got some fairly good generals, actually, as well. Maybe we can get a bit more artillery, we should be fine. How long until that? Yeah, it's only 20 days. So we're currently just preparing for a bit of fight in here. If we can fight that army once, and then start slowly making our way with the massive troops in here, we might be able to siege down, well, first of all, we're going to siege down the fort itself, and we don't really want to keep all the troops there. But with the naval barrage, which I don't know if we can actually do that. Oh, we got the fleet in here, so maybe we can. There we go, there's the artillery. Let's get these forward. That will be getting us maybe slightly over the force limit in there, although not necessarily. But at least money-wise, we're actually doing pretty good now. I'm going to go out and build another shipyard somewhere. Where do we want that? And Comoros wouldn't be too bad. But we don't have that as core, so that wouldn't really give us the full bonus. Christmas Island is another decent option. On the other hand, we just save the money for more manufacturers. Actually, right now, that might be the better option. Oh, there we go. It's down to 2,700 now to embrace the institution, which is still a bit too much. But I suppose it's now going to be spreading into a few more provinces hopefully soon. Oh, and it's actually spreading to a capital finally. Took a while, but it's at least doing that. Actually, why is the reason that it's spreading in here? A trade station, and it's not on the same continent as manufactured origin. Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair, I suppose. Oh, right, so that's scale with development as well, okay. Speaking of which, are we up to date on Diplotech? Roughly speaking, yes. Not for much longer, though. We could go ahead and develop maybe a little bit. You know what, actually, yeah, the gold province is probably not the worst one. Or the gold provinces in general, I guess. There we go, so I suspect that's going to be a... yeah, it's almost 15 ducats of gold income now. Luckily, we do still have the inflation reduction quite nicely. Actually, we could even get rid of the advisor and get something different. Although, the stability cost modifier wouldn't be the worst. The tax modifier guy, I mean, that would be a decent bit of income through that overall, but the problem is that it's so much upkeep. On the other hand, you know what? No, we'll actually go with that. Because we can afford it, just about. And that's going to give us much more admin points, which we do need desperately. Right, so did we get the artillery in here yet? No, not yet. It's moving through Bali. There we go. So let's get this combined into the bigger army. And with the troops, we'll start moving across. We'll also bring in some more Marines. Let's hope that this works. We'll have the numbers advantage initially. We'll also have the artillery advantage. So we can deal quite a bit of damage, and we've got more troops heading in there. They do have reinforcements arriving. We do have -3 from the train, but we did actually win that battle. They might try to... yeah, they're still attacking us. Get the naval barrage in here. The 28 battalions versus us is not going to be sufficient, even with a lot of artillery. And good morale and all that. They've got a really good discipline, actually. Well, actually, they might be able to do quite a bit of damage on us. Yeah, no, that's looking pretty rough for us. Right, so I was a little bit cocky there, I suppose. Oh, yeah, that's rather costly. Okay, let's get a bit more coring underway to get the overextension. Actually, the overextension is not too bad right now, luckily. But yeah, that's going to be a bit expensive in terms of manpower to reinforce everything. Yeah, we need 14,000... yeah, basically we need all of our manpower to reinforce. Whoops. I mean, that was a pretty good leader there. I suppose we hadn't recovered fully after the combat. But we do control the war goal, so there is that. We could always try to demand at least Lombok over here. And then maybe after a war against Palembang, we can get a proper foothold in here somewhere. But yeah, so that's... actually, Palembang is still fighting against Spain. But Spain hasn't really got on too much in here. Actually, Langfang is sieging down Philippines because we destroyed their armies in here. And I don't know if Spain is still fighting another war against... oh no, they're fighting Saluzzo, Tuscany, France, Orleans, Genoa, Bregenz, and Regensburg. What's that war about? Oh, they're helping Milan. Okay, so they were probably called into yet another war. Right, so the reinforcements are going to be a little bit costly for us. Also, innovativeness is now decreasing. How much can we actually supply in here? 42 regiments. That's going to be a bit of a hindrance there, I would say. We'll get the big army up here at least. Slave ship captured. Ooh, just what we needed. More manpower and a lot more sailors. Which actually, I suppose a lot of the troops are using sailors. Yeah, we need 11,000 sailors to reinforce everything, but that's fine. Improvements in current technology. You know what? I'm going to take the admin points. We've got the inflation reduction anyway. It's not going to be very quick, but it's still happening. So that's going to allow us to get the... I guess actually we can get some more cores underway. And after that, we'll start working on getting the admin tech 21 to unlock the furnaces. Which could probably be quite useful. I don't know if we have any coal producing province. I think we... actually. Now, there's one over there. We've got one in Australia, though. That's going to be turning gold into... gold into coal. Which that... I believe that needs... right, enlightenment needs to be present. And we need to have... embrace enlightenment, so that's going to take a while. I suppose right now we don't need that fleet. I'm just going to get over here and seize down, or blockade down the trade port that they have still there. Exceptional year. I'm just going to take the money directly. Oh, we've got, we've got a mix of regular troops in here. In with the Marines. Oh. How long has that been the case? Probably quite a while, actually. We'll combine those special units into... like 1 or 2 armies, I guess. That's 25 regiments of Marines. Can we get a leader in here? I suppose if we had a leader with this, that still wouldn't be sufficient, but that would be able to do the landings without taking crossing penalties. But that would still be kind of risky. On the other hand, with a bit of planning, we could try to do a landing with Marines over here somewhere. Somewhere far away from that army. And then we'll just get the reinforcements in there. It would still be risky, but that would be possible. Maybe get the siege down on the capital. Oh, Bengal's in the golden era. Well, good on them. There we go. We are making money. We're going to let the armies recover for the time being. Oh, and it's gone zone by Pasai. Well, that's unfortunate. There's quite a bit of unrest in various locations. There we go. We can call that one, and we are... we've still got 46 points left over for the governing capacity, although once we get all these cores done, there's not going to be any left. Well, there we go. Yeah, Spain's getting sieged down pretty heavily over here. Which is perfect for us. If they lose some provinces in here... oh, right, actually, we've got a couple of ships down here. I'm just going to go ahead and get these into here, so we can use the big fleet over here to transport the Marines if need be. Or bigger transport fleets to transport the Marines if we decide to do a landing with them. Oh, truce with Ayutthaya ended. Ah, right, the... oh, actually, no, the war operations should still be going on, I think. At least for a little bit longer. Another 2 years on that. No, trade embargo immediately. I wonder why. Well, I suppose that does mean that we can do a bit more tax collection on them. Meaning we can rate them. Speaking of which, actually, we can rate Sunda potentially as well. Or maybe not. Okay then, never mind. Ooh, can we get more good workshops somewhere? Actually, Cocos Island is not too bad. Do we have a manufacturer there already? We do, okay, yeah, so the workshop over here would be worthwhile. How much do we still need? Another 2,800 ducats on the Embracing Institution. I mean, again, it is spreading, just not very quickly. Because we got, you know, not that high development provinces in all the areas, so yeah, it's going to be limited spreading for the time being. And we don't have a whole lot of manufacturers yet, but we are fixing that slowly. Just not quickly enough. Is the problem. But yeah, so the troops are mostly ready. I guess this one's... yeah, there's a lot of artillery. Actually, I'm just going to get this with the big army And then we can go ahead and probably... Is that... Oh, that has a transport fleet there. Huh. Oh! I have a cunning plan. I'm going to try to see if we remove the blockade, they should be able to move through Bali. Can we block them into the island here? And then stack wipe that army? Let's just double check. Do they give... yeah, they do give military access to Sunda, technically speaking. Let me just double check. Is this across... Oh, it's the other... Okay. Well, let's get the fleet over there then. Let's see if it starts moving. Ah, well, we can't see it right now. I suppose we can get this in here. It is moving. As soon as it's in there, get the Marines in here as well. We'll move the big fleet out here again, so it can't move away. Or if you want to take the straight crossing, that's fine by me. We'll get a bit more troops in here. Actually, go ahead and use the transport for this. And if we get in here in time, that should block that. Yes, there we go. They are blocked in. We'll get the reinforcements in here. We should be able to fight that off. It's not going to be easy battle. But at least the terrain is not jungle, so we don't get the massive penalty because of that. And we can go ahead and combine these into one army now. So that way we can defeat their troops. Hey, there we go. Interpro has been converted. So we did get the -2 because of the crossing with the extra army, but I think with enough troops, yeah, we are kind of defeating them. And that should be a stack wipe. At least, yeah. That was a stack wipe. There we go. And now, well, they've still got the 16 Talisman army there. At this point, though, I think we're going to go ahead and move into Palembang. We'll have the numbers advantage. We don't actually have a full strength units right now. We'll go ahead and do the naval barrage. Actually, is this... Oh, right, we need to switch these two fleets around right now. Because that's going to give us the +3 in there, so that's -14%. And the enemy lost a lot of their troops, so they are now medium enthusiasm. They would take this peace deal, but I kind of do want to get to Palembang and maybe get a little bit more in here as well. If we're going to Kadiri, that would already be a decent chunk. Well, it's not a huge chunk, actually. How much more could we take without... that would be a potential coalition of Bali and Sunda. We'll kind of separate Palembang and Sunda completely in here. How much more? Okay, so that would be the total max that we could get over here. So I think we'll go for this, and then we'll, like, take some money or something. Yeah, just take the max amount of cash, so that's 700 ducats. We're not quite ready for this peace deal, of course, yet, but at least we've gotten the first major victory. We'll go ahead and consolidate the regiments as well, just to be on the safe side. So if there is another combat... Oh, they are trying to fight us in here. That's a bold move. I suppose they will still have the +2 from the terrain. For local traders demand 8. You know what? At this point, we do have the money. They're going to arrive in 27. The sheer numbers advantage should be in our favor. We'll recall the diplomat from our vassal, and we gain core on Rabaul. Let's have a look at the combat in here. So we are... our front line is kind of collapsing, but their front line is no more. There we go. So we did win that. We did quite a bit casualties, but they do actually take more casualties than we did. And now it's -7% siege. I believe they probably are trying to... Yeah, they're trying to build a whole lot more armies now. No surprises there, to be fair. But there we go. That was a crucial victory. First trapping the army in Bali, and then fighting off of this counterattack over here. So now they're 29% war score. Of course, they would not be taking this peace deal yet. But that is a crucial victory. If we can take these lands, that would be perfect. Then we can start focusing on defeating Sunda later on. Again and again. Like, I think it's still going to be another 2 wars before we can fully annex them. Yeah, at least 2 wars. But we can then maybe fight Palembang quite easily. Although, well, I say that. I suppose... who's Bali allied to? Was that the Bandra and Luwu? Yeah, that's Bandra and Luwu. So that's not too bad. So if we conquer Bali, that would give us a connected land all the way from Florida, or all the way from Timor, really, down to Denmark. And then, of course, we could take at least the Borneo out of things. Maybe a little bit from Luwu. We are getting close to a coalition territory, but at this point, We can't have any allies anyway and like that, so potential coalition, as long as it's not too strong in terms of navies, we should mostly be fine. And with some clever use of our fleets, we should be able to do a lot of work. Okay, another supply shortage. Having that fleet blockading in there is very crucial. They are now building quite a bit of army though, but I suppose overall they are still less armies than we have. Of course, our manpower is very low. And we do need quite a bit of sailors and reinforcing all the marines, but with the 2 armies in here, we are at least holding our ground, and we're getting a few more cores done in the meanwhile. Actually, we've got almost... Well, we've got over 500 ducats right now. We could potentially get another manufactory. And I think that might actually... improvement value... Yeah. Malgana could be a pretty good one. Actually, this one might be slightly better. We can build a workshop in there as well. Arungam. Oh, we're about to get another workshop, actually, just now. In Kogo's Islands. So we've still got 3 more naval equipment manufacturers, or 3 total, right now underway. That should be pretty good for the money situation overall. Oh, well, there we go. That's another core done. Righto. So, as soon as we get this siege done, we can start pushing a bit forward. Don't actually need to go too far out there, but honestly, if we can just get up to Kadiri at least, that would be a nice location to hold on to. At that point, we won't have the terrain penalty anymore, so that would be something that... Even Malang would be something that we can definitely hold, because there's a river crossing for the enemy and a jungle for us. But first we need to win this siege, which hopefully... Nope, it did not go down yet. Well, we're getting closer and closer. We're still making a decent bit of money as well. We haven't conquered or captured their fleet yet, but they've been lucky compared to many of our other enemies. Ooh, election, I don't like the plus 10% construction cost, so I'm gonna get a new pirate. Let's see if we get any better trades there. Also, actually, we could go for the reduction on aggressive expansion and core creation cost. Because this is going to be costly otherwise, but that's going to allow us to, hopefully... Oh, now the peace offer value is even... Alright, I guess we'll reduce the money. Of course, they will not be taking this peace deal yet, but hopefully win that siege. Oh, not yet. Actually, so is that going to be a coalition? Bali and Sunda? Not really, at least yet. Midas touch. Oh. There we go. Even more money. So 71%, that should be pretty decent. They are building a bit of an army, but at this point, since we won't have the straight crossing penalty anymore, that should be already a lot better for us. Of course, the jungle is still pretty bad, but, you know, it is what it is. And there we go, the siege is done. Get to Malang. Death of a merchant. Oh, you know what? I will take the money right now to keep the cash flowing in. I'm actually going to go ahead and move in the primary army up to the up to the jungle already, while the marines siege down the other one. And there's a bit of revolt about to... actually, yeah, there's a couple of locations, probably. Let's see... Vanuatu Solomon Islands is one. And then Timor... Okay, so it's a whole lot of the islands in here that we can conquer from the Spanish that are possibly going to have a revolt. So we might want to get the truce done sooner rather than later. So maybe we don't go all the way to Demak. Let's take these 3 provinces. And we can take a little bit of money. Actually, we're not going to take the peace deal quite yet, because we can siege these down fairly quickly. And once those have been sieged down, then we can force out a peace. Maybe get a bit more money, for example, and then leave one army over here. Oh. Right, that's East Timor Accord. Excellent. And there we go. There's one of the sieges done, and the other one's going to be done fairly shortly. There we are. So, we've got 50% war score. What can we get with that? They will not give us any more lands, but we can get a bit more. Another 200 ducats. You know what? I'll take it. Rather than get bogged down in a massive war. Oh, King's Court. Aha. At least 10, currently 17 provinces. And all provinces East Java area owned by Palembang, or non-tributary subjects. So permanent claims on Central and West Java. You know what? Yeah, I'll take that. General with 50 tradition. Oh. Alright then. It's got 2 siege pips. That's not too bad. Doesn't have quite the 5 pips as the other 2 generals have, though. It can still be quite handy. Right, we'll go ahead and get the Marines to deal with the rebellions. in the foreseeable future, or near future here. So we'll get those to go into, like, Papua or something. We can keep this army over here, do a bit of rebel suppression for the time being. We can't actually reach that area, though, is the problem. But at least we can keep some of that under control. We can get the coring underway. Oh, and there's the revolt. Well, it's a good thing that our troops are almost ready. Actually, rather than do it that way, rather than give the fleet orders to move there, I'm going to give this orders to just get into Solomon Islands. I'll probably have to do landing anyway, but that's fine. Should be able to do that quite easily. And there we go. So the next war... Oh, right. Palembang is still fighting against Spain. Got 16,000 men. We're a little bit low on manpower, though, so perhaps we should not try to do any current wars. And we are still... Well, we need another 2,000 ducats to... You know what? At this point, I'm going to take the loans, though. And praise the institution. That's going to make... well, goods produced modified plus 10%. It's also going to make the tax a lot cheaper. And we're going to reduce or remove these edicts that are no longer needed. Save us a bit on money as well. That way, that should be a decent income boost, although we are paying 7 ducats per month right now on the... Oh, Malacca no longer considers me as a rival. Oh, shame, really. Ah, increased demand for pepper. Sure. That's good. Let's just make sure that there's no excesses in there. Right, so we need another 8,000 manpower to cover all the costs. I'm going to go and build another... Actually, we're going to get a training field. Oh, in Whole Hawaii, yeah, that's 1,000 manpower there. After that, we'll start saving up some money for... Oh, right, I'm actually a bit low on cash right now, aren't we? So this is the heavy fleet. Actually, we can still do some raiding in here. Actually, have a look at the raid map mode. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit more... Oh, right, yeah, Malacca. Let's go do a bit of raiding, especially Zhatelier, among other things. And then, of course, we've got this big fleet over here, which I think it might be time for us to start upgrading the remaining galleys there. Because I suspect there's going to be probably a war against the Malaccans or Zhateliers soon enough. And we need to have all the power that we can muster. Oh, there's West Timor. Well, actually, I can move through Bali. So we'll go and defeat that army. Also, we've still got the 10 transports in here, which I guess I can actually just combine with the... No, that's the heavy fleet. Right, oh, well, in that case, we'll just keep it in here somewhere. Oh. I guess we can't go through there anymore. And the only fleet that could transport it is at the Solomon Sea. So you know what? Yeah, well, we'll probably just do that. Get these transported to... We'll go to Flores, just in case, if they do get to East Timor in the meanwhile. There we go. Solomon Islands have been... Well, we won the rebellion there. Or won the battle against the rebellion there. That's another conversion done. Excellent. So how much... well, we still got a decent unity. Yeah, they did manage to siege down West Timor. Also, it still takes quite a while to convert most of these provinces. There we go. Oh. Zhatelier will get a core province. Wait a minute, so what was it? Solomon Islands? Oh yeah, they got a claim. Okay. Or core, rather, on that. Not entirely sure how, but sure, I guess. A rogue privateer expired. Alright, then that, I believe that actually means a bit more income from our... trade, maybe? The army maintenance is starting to be pretty... Well, actually, it's not the army maintenance so much. The fort maintenance is pretty hard. And the advisors are quite expensive. Now, admittedly, we do have a level 3 advisor, which is not helping. Are we over our... Oh, no, we're not over our governing capacity yet. We're not too far off, though. So we're starting to get some more naval equipment manufacturers, so that should be... Oh, right, yeah, we did get this one. Let's get to East Timor. Have a bit of combat, and they'll probably win that, though. East Timor might actually be not a terrible location for a fortification, because that would keep Flores and West Timor free as well. Yeah, they did get there first, but we'll fight off that rebellion. We'll get the straight crossing penalty. And we'll take the Republican tradition Osler as well. We should be fine. Oh, there we go. With the artillery, we're actually just wrecking that. We lost only 1,000 men. Let's go out and deal with that. Is that? Right, we're still working on making that a core. That's what's happening. So are we still... No, still making a decent bit of money from spoils of war, but a little bit less now. I suppose the army maintenance is starting to be... Yeah, the reinforcements are quite expensive. We're not over force limit, although fleet maintenance... Yeah, that's quite a bit of money. I suppose the fact that we're not getting the war reparations anymore is costing us a lot. We weren't quite ready for this level of stuff yet. Or this level of expenses otherwise. So let's go ahead and switch the advisor maybe to something cheaper. Oh, missionary strength. That's actually not bad. That's going to save us a decent bit of money. So actually we're making now some cash. And we can convert the provinces faster, which does mean that we'll save up a decent bit of time and effort. And we'll start actually benefiting from the provinces faster. Right, Indrapura is the next potential location for a... Oh, right over here. Oh, that's a gold province. Oh, once we convert that, that's going to be brilliant. Now, how bad is Europe looking like at this point? Spain's still fairly strong. They didn't actually get any land from Britain by the looks of it. Oh, but Britain's got part of Sardinia and one of... Okay, they got Minorca. They don't have Gibraltar yet, at least. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Spain lost that war. Oh yeah, pretty sure Mexico is now massive. The new Spain lost a lot of territories in there, so Spain overall is losing prominence. Ottomans are still quite massive, Mughals are quite massive, of course Russia is pretty large. That's to the surprise of no one. And then Prussia is a thing. HR is a bit of a mess actually. Lubeck is fairly strong overall in there, but yeah, it's a bit of a mess nonetheless. And then we've got East Scandinavia, that's rude. It is what it is. Anywho, now that we've got a bit of a peacetime here, I don't think I want to do another fight quite yet. Because we are out of manpower. Arsenal's are being deserted. Oh dear, that's a bit of military power. Now we should be able to start catching up in tech a little bit. Because we're still... When's the next election? In 2 years. Alright then, let's start speeding up a little bit then. So when is the next revolt? It's still going to take a while. Actually, yeah, we are now in here. Let's just go ahead and drill the army for a brief moment. Are we still losing money? I was losing a tiny bit of money, but it's mostly the reinforcements. Yeah, that's still quite expensive. Why is it costing the reinforcements? It's just, I suppose the big army is still regaining some manpower. And that is what's causing us. It's the deficit isn't huge, though. And actually, if we wanted to... Oh, right, there's the revolt in... oh, right, but that's in New Zealand. But there we go, West Timor is cored. We'll start getting, hopefully, a bit more money from there. Overall, actually, how much do we control trade in Moluccas now? 16%. Huh. I suppose we're technically... Oh, yeah, we're transporting the trade power, or transferring the trade power down to Malacca, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we are. So that there's more for us to raid there, essentially. Right now, eventually we'll try to even maybe protect the trade in Malacca, but right now, that is what we do. There's more privateering. Hey, we actually got some maneuverability. Accommodation natives. Oh, perfect. Actually, is that the colony is already over 900 population, so that will probably be done within the year. Maybe not this year, but like within a year, rather. I've got a few more cores, but I do see that we are actually out of time with this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.